So basically, we got all the materials that we need for the camper. We got all the, the things for the floor. We got all the things for the wood. We got all the things for the material. Technically, when I first bought the camper, it was $1,000, and the camper was leaking in the back because in Vermont it snows, and the snows goes up to 6, 7, 8 inches high, even beyond that sometimes, depending on your location and how high your camper is sitting. So the camper was sitting low in the back. As you can see right there in the back is lower than the front. So when the snow was coming, it was coming inside the door and underneath. And also there was some holes in the bottom that they did not want to seal. So the back of the camper was all rotten. The wood was all rotten. So I had to cut it off. Be careful about the wood. I use a saw, not a table saw, but not a hand saw, but like the long saw, pretty much. A floor saw, whatever you want to call it. Anyway, I use a saw. I cut the wood out. And then also I replaced, I gutted everything out, man, in the back. And, as you can see in the images, I gutted everything in the back. So this is my first time really buying a camper. The camper was good. So my advice to you, if you ever want to buy a camper, it's not a bad idea. It's actually a really, really smart, good idea to do. The only thing is that make sure you have your T's and I dotted and your T's across, because technically you have no idea what you're going to get into. Because one thing about a camper, I realize it's not like houses where, it can take a long time for things to leak. With a camper, once it starts leaking, you're going to have to change that. Because if you don't change that wood that's rotten or whatever's leaking, if you don't fix that, it's going to get worse and worse, and it's going to get more expensive or more expensive. So don't sit down and just sit there and let your camper get rotten. So you have to replace the parts that needs to. I bought this camper for $1,000. I've invested in the first day. I invested $25 to ship it to tow it here down the streets. And after that, I've spent a total of $1,500, me and my wife. We spent $1,000 on the camper. Then we spent another $1,000 on just the floor alone. Just the floorboards was like $600 for 15 packs. And each pack have 9. And I think that's enough because we measure it based on the width and the size of the camper and all that stuff. Anyway, so... And then you have the insulation, the face stud insulation. That costs $115. Big bag right there. Cost $115. And also we bought other things like the tape. We got Flex Seal tape. We bought a whole pack for $40. We bought a Gorilla tape. We bought the paint that goes around the tape. So that way we'll make sure there's no water coming inside this camper again, because once you put everything back together, you want to make sure that once you take stuff off the camper to fix, make sure once you already rip the whole camper apart, whatever area to fix, make sure that you go beyond the spot so you can know that the water is not beyond the point you're trying to fix. Because if it's beyond the point, then you fix everything and put everything together, and guess what? You realize, oh, there's another spot here leaks, but you already put all the beds, all the bunk bed together. You're going to have to take all that shit off again. You got to put all that shit back together. And the more you keep taking it off, the more you're destroying the material. So you want to make sure that when you take stuff off, you make sure that there's no other leak in that area, or there's no other leak. Because once you take it off, it's hard to put back on. You know what I'm saying? And it takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of money. So you want to make sure that whatever you take off, that you can able to fix the problem correctly and fix it for good, or fix it for at least something that will last for a long, long time, then put the things back on. You know what I'm saying? So that's the only downside with camper. It's just like taking care of a house. If you ever had a house, that if you can maintain a house, you can maintain a camper. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just like a tiny house on wheels. So you're going to have leaks. You're going to have, things to fix. You're going to have electrical issues. You're going to have water issues. But those are minor issues. Minor, small issues. Some of those things you can even fix yourself. It all depends on your technical skills and your ability to do certain things like that. So it is worth it. So I put in, so far we're putting $2,500 into this camper. $1,000 for the camper. It's a 1997 or 96? Yeah, 1996 camper. We bought it for $1,000. It cost us $1,500 to remodel it and repair it. I'm trying to keep my budget. Really, I didn't expect to spend this much. So I'm trying to really keep my budget under $3,000, because if you get down, it's not going to get past that, because I've already estimated my damage. I already see what the damage is. I already know what to fix, what not to fix. And when you remodeling a camper, sometimes you don't have to remodel everything. You can just find the main pieces that have the problem and fix it, and then the other ones make it blend in. But you don't have to rip off the wall. You don't have to rip off the kitchen countertop. Like, you don't do none of that stuff, man. You just got to just figure out what saves money and what makes the camper look new. And when somebody walk in, they can't think, oh, this is an old camper, or it stinks, or this is rotten, or this is peeled off, the table mat is peeled off. No, no, no. You want to make sure somebody walk in is like walking into a brand new house. But at the same time, you don't want to get over carried away. Like my wife, sometimes she get carried away. She want to buy this, she want to buy this, she want to fix this. I'm like, baby, all those things work. Just take it off, clean it, and it's like brand new. I own the cleaning company, so I know it's like something, no matter how dirty something looks, take it off, clean it, wash it properly. Trust me, it's like brand new. So yes, it is worth the camp life. It is worth it. Buying a camper, it is worth it. But just know from my first time experience buying a camper and remodeling it, you know, as you can see, it's a lot of hard work. But at the same time, you can do it if you are a determined person, if you're a focused person, and you're willing to put in hard work. And if you're a handyman type of person, this is an easy job for you, man. And also, it's an experiment. You know, you learn, you learn as you go, pretty much. So we got all the materials we need. And starting tomorrow, I'm going to lay down the floors. And then from then on, all that hole right there, you see, I got to seal all that. Yep. And then from then on, replace the doors. And you'll see a brand new camper. Next time I show you a video, watch, you're going to see.